Hey guys, what's going on? Jetfin here. Auto Celiax on the screen. Odin mod selection there. Celiax is my choice for Odin. Reason being, keeps the agility, keeps the speed, and you get 5 heals. I've kicked around the spotter plane and the fighter option on this. Also, secondary could be an option, but you don't really get the reach. So I've kind of gone away from the secondary option. Even though for my slot 2 for Celiax, I do still have the elbow room. Or porcupine, excuse me, for the secondary reach and dispersion and whatnot. So you had a brief look earlier of the team rundown here. My goal is to kind of push on the inside of these islands and basically try to support C and B at the same time. And then whichever one needs more help, I'm going to go assist at. It's my initial kind of defer, if you will. So at the start of the game, I'm not making necessarily a decisive decision which cap point I'm going to go to. I'm kind of kicking that can down the road, and I'm going to basically see how this game kind of plays out here. Got the early shot, I think that was Richelieu, and then another shot at Champagne. So we got 2 salvos early on, or excuse me, Gneisenau. There's another German battleship there. So Champagne took a shot at. You see I'm being radared. You know, I'm pushing in here, but I don't want to push too aggressive. You know, German battleships in general, you have that kind of fine line. If you're a brawling style battleship, another 4K there, up to 12,000. You have that tough choice. Kagero pops up, and this is where Odin actually has a benefit over most battleships. That reload is basically a cruiser reload. 17 seconds on the Odin. Really, you can pump the shells out pretty good, and by having the hydro, you can anticipate a little bit better where those torps and whatnot are coming from. And she's also very tanky. I mean, an incredibly tanky battleship. You keep that bow facing the enemy, and you're going to be able to basically ricochet and minimize a significant amount of damage. You're going to see how I like to play her up close and personal. There will be some very up close and personal brawling. The other day I mentioned that I was going to get you guys an Odin video. This is the first Odin video I've put out on this channel, and this was the first game I played in the Odin in a while, and it just reaffirmed just how good of an option this is at tier 7, and how, in my opinion, this might be one of the best German battleships there is in the game. And we'll touch on that a little later when there's a little bit of a lull. Meantime, though, the French destroyer is coming in hard. I don't know what his play was here, but he's basically charging a cruiser. One salvo, there's 7 pens, half his health is gone. So I still have 13 seconds left on the hydro. I'm turning in here hard. I'm expecting torpedoes, and there they are. And that right there is the benefit. That's the advantage. That's the difference with this hydro one. You get to see that early advantage. Another 4K chunker off of him, and secondaries are opening up. This is why I have the secondary option on there for Celiax, because it just makes him a little bit more deadly. A little bit better. So we get the close quarters with the secondaries getting the finishing shot there. So at this point, I'm stuck in between 2 options. Do I want to push past this island? If I do, I'm going to be giving myself basically both flanks, both sides, port and starboard side, to something that can shoot me, right? Or do I want to kind of nuzzle up against this island, minimize the options of who can shoot at me, and engage them one at a time? I'm going to choose the latter. Ochakov is flirting with danger here, because, to be honest, it's a Russian cruiser, and those are not well known for their armor. Still spotted here, but he dropped spot. So my thinking was that he was going to go behind that island, and basically maybe start a kiting engagement or whatnot. He decided that he's just whatever, just going to go in front of the island. I don't care. So again, gets away with it. Odin's guns, basically they're superior Scharnhorst guns. If you like the Scharnhorst, you're going to like the Odin. This is basically the Scharnhorst's big brother. I am a fan of Scharnhorst, and there's another double citadel right there. Basically, could have been a Dev Strike, but of course we went with like what 500 damage or something ridiculous. So up to 63,000 damage now. So if you look, C has been captured by the Reds. So that's one of my major concerns right now. Take another shot at the Ochakov. He goes down. Second sinking up to 66,000. The Champagne new campaign ship that just came out is pushing hard towards C. We have B and A looks to be kind of a non-contest on either side. Do have a ship advantage here, +1. So my thinking at this point is let's let the Champagne kind of push in toward me. We'll go aggressively after him, swing a big horseshoe around to C, and get into some action at C. 5 heals on Odin makes this ship incredibly dangerous. The fast reload on these guns makes it incredibly dangerous. Well-angled targets are going to be a problem. You know, you're not going to be able to overmatch bows and whatnot. But again, Champagne, not the most heavily armored ship, but we still, with his front 2 guns, got 11,000 damage off of them. So it shows the AP on these are more than sufficient at dealing damage, and the speed at which I'm able to constantly pump rounds out, you know, makes this thing not necessarily a detriment with the German dispersion. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, 17 seconds I'm getting a new salvo off. So if I have a German wonky salvo once in a while, it's not the end of the world, is what I'm trying to basically get at with that. There's another 14,000. Okay, again, Odin and Scharnhorst. If depending on what ship you have, Waterline isn't necessarily your best bet. But I want to get into how I'm engaging this guy up close. Notice how I'm not turning yet. I'm not giving a broadside yet at a torp threat. And the reason why is because I want to force him to make a move. I want to force him to make a decision on which side he wants to go to, so it's too late. So I forced him to do that. He picked a side. I adjusted. I engaged him based off of that. And now I am swinging my back end around. Now, it wasn't necessarily all me that forced that engagement. If you look off to my left, I have a friendly destroyer. This guy came in clutch multiple times with these engagements. He basically helped me by forcing the enemy battleship to have to make an evasive maneuver, which opened them up for me to get the sinking. So this is an example of a team play, and it's a great job by our destroyer to basically help secure these sinkings as a team sink. I would say these are more team sinks than just, you know, shows and displays of Odin dominance, if you will. So again, we're up to 3 sinkings, 127,000 damage. Like I was mentioning earlier, my strategy was we were going to go after the Champagne, swing it hard to the Charlie Cap, and go and get into some rough and tumble. So we got a German battleship with torps against a German battleship with torps. Gneisenau, one of my favorite ships in the game. I really like Gneisenau. I like ships that you can play aggressively. I'm a fan of aggressive play. I like it, especially with battleships. I like the option to be able to push hard. So torpedoes on the way, and the way that just hit and the amount of damage that just gave off, clear as day, not a Gneisenau torp. As you see, Gneisenau just put her torpedoes off of her left side. And now she's turning in hard. So I'm aiming at the guns here. I'm trying to knock some of the guns out. Not doing so well. Gneisenau takes 3 torpedoes right there. So now again, I'm not turning in. I'm not going to, you know, on these drive-bys, right? I'm not turning to basically go into death circle with the enemy battleship. I'm going to turn out. I got the rear gun involved. If the rear gun wouldn't have gotten the job done, I had my right side torpedoes that I was going to throw out, and that would have finished the job on the Gneisenau. But again, great play by friendly destroyer. He bailed me out, 159,000 damage. I was trying to turn back left here, didn't have an option. I saw the Kagro just now pop up. I had the HE loaded, could not get the sinking. And unfortunately, with how this is playing out, not going to have the health. I'm going to be going down here in a minute. Take the torp, and of course I go down with the flooding from the Kagro. But I just think that this was a pretty good showing the flexing of the muscles of the Odin. And again, I wanted to highlight La Fantasque had a great game as well. He may not show it with the sinking numbers and the raw damage, but he had a hand in every single one of these sinkings. So you in this fantastic. I don't know if you ever run across this video. Keep up the good work, man. You're doing some serious work in this game. He's going to get the final sinking on the Kagro. It's going to be a win. There it is. So good job to the La Fantastica. Great teamwork there. So again, Odin, keep it angled. Play it like a Big Brother Scharnhorst. It's a great ship. It's a deadly ship. So if it ever comes back and you have an option to get it, I'd get it. 3,000 base XP there, 4 sinkings. Could have been a Kraken, wasn't. If you liked the video, hit the like. We'll see you on the high seas, guys.